Author Father John Powell tells the story of a student that he taught at Loyola University in Chicago named Tommy. And Tommy claimed to be an atheist. And when he turned in his final exam, he kind of smirked at Father Powell and asked him, "Do you think I'll ever find God?" And without waiting for an answer from Father Powell, Tommy just left. But before he left, Father Powell called out and said to Tommy, "Tommy, you may never find God, but God's going to find you." And months later, Tommy learned that he had cancer. And in the course of his illness, God did find Tommy in a very beautiful way. And just before Tommy died, he asked Father Powell to share to his future students the story of how he didn't find God, but how God had found him. Maybe you're in a similar circumstance. Perhaps you've just about given up on finding God, or maybe you feel abandoned by God. It's wonderful, the fact that you're tuning in. And in some ways, divine providence may well have led you to tune in to the television Mass today. In essence, you're still open to finding God. You wouldn't be right here and now. And like Tommy, in that openness, he learned an important insight that's echoed in today's first reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah. As God spoke to the Israelite people who had their own doubts about God's faithfulness, God speaks to you and to me. Can a mother forget her infant, be without tenderness for the child of her womb? For should she forget, I will never forget you. God will find you and let you know his special love for you, for he has not and will never forget you. The beautiful message of the scriptures of today's Mass. Can you think of times, for example, where God has made himself known, has found you in a way, when people who happen to just come into your life at a very significant moment, when you needed an experience, perhaps a felt experience of God's love and care that was provided by those people? Perhaps it's been a circumstance that brings home a new awareness about how God has been carrying you along. Not unlike that beautiful poem, remember, footprints in the sand, thinking one was alone, but in fact, God had been carrying that person. Well, there was a man on the edge of a cliff in Italy, and he was contemplating suicide. And suddenly he heard some music so pure that it sounded out of this world, and it touched him deeply. He looked around and he saw a boy playing a harmonica at the entrance to a cave. And the sound of the music and the sight of the boy touched the depths of his heart, so tortured as it was. And suddenly the man realized how much loveliness, how much beauty there is in this world that God has made. And he claimed that this experience was not only a gift from God, but so much more. For him, it was the presence and power of God entering his life to help him at a time when he could not help himself. God had found him. Echoing those words of Isaiah, I will never forget you. The Eucharist that we celebrate here at Mass is Jesus' way of letting you and me know, I will never forget you. I am here for you. And all we need to do is to be like Tommy, to be open, to let God find him. And with eyes made clear and a new vision, God can reveal his presence and his power to you and to me. And we pray in a special way this day that each of us, and particularly those looking to find God, like Tommy, will be blessed with renewed faith in the God who will never forget us. For he truly has found us in our greatest need. And in the person of Jesus Christ, he has become one of us, to let us know, in essence, everything will be all right, as if to say, just place your hand in mine.